Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all new episode recap of today's Days of Our Lives, June 24th, 2026. So we start off with Sarah, Brady, and Liam. So they were able to find Liam at his new location with his son, and he's surprised to see Sarah because he's thinking, wow, what's really wrong? Do I owe you for the visit that I took him to? So she said, no, the clinic is absolutely free. That's not what we're here for. So we want to find out more information about the death of the mother of your child. So he said that I have nothing to do with her death at all. So they're not trying to accuse him of anything. They just want to know more information on how she died. So he said that he does not really he did not really have much information, but at the same time he tried to help them in any way possible. So all he could say is that he tried to get her help, get her to rehab, help her with her addiction, but she refused. At some point it didn't work out, and unfortunately she died as a result. So they told him that her sister died recently, and there's similar ways in which they died. So he's surprised to hear that because he's cut off contact with their family ever since Gage's mother died. So they tell him that somehow they feel like the drugs were laced with something, but that's what they're trying to find out. So they asked him on the day that she died, how was she feeling? So he said that she was nauseous, she was lightheaded. All of the other feelings that she had were just she felt like she had a stomach ache, all of that. So what happened after that is that she just went. So now they're thinking something is really up. So Liam said, I hope that you guys can find information on who really took the mother of my son away. Now, honestly, I was here for Theo and Gabby's scene because Theo really let Gabby have it, and as she deserved, because how can you feel like it's okay to treat somebody that's your quote-unquote friend like that and accuse him of something that is not in his nature, is not his character at all? So all I'm saying is that Theo is saying, I need to talk to my sister because I told her specifically that I didn't want to see you at all. So she said, I'm sorry that, I'm here, but I just wanted to just give you this to not only say congratulations for you going back to your position, but also, congratulations, apologizing as well yet again. So he's like, what are you really apologizing for? Because, it's not like I am going to ever forget, and I'm not going to accept it either. And she also wanted to find out also when is the inheritance money coming in. So he's like, oh, so that's your real motive for coming over here. So she said, no, my apology was very sincere and I really meant what I said. So he's saying, yeah, well, I don't believe it at all. So anyway, she wanted to say that she needed inheritance money because she wanted to make it right with Philip and actually donate to them. So this is where Theo was really just livid, because he's like, imagine I went to bat against my own family for you so you get what you rightfully deserve, and this is how you repay me. You backstab me so that you can help your boyfriend because you feel sorry for him and you feel sorry for what you did to ease your conscience. And at the end of the day, I find it laughable because Philip doesn't want to have nothing to do with you. Why would he take your money? So she said, Philip doesn't want to take it. Xander wanted to take it. So he said, oh, what a surprise there. So at this point, you're just doing it just because you want to ease your conscience and all that. And I'm just saying, at this point, you may be Stefan's widow, but you're not the mirror. You're a traitor, and I can't be friends with a traitor. You remind me of my ex-girlfriend Claire, who cheated on me and lied to me, and I wanted to believe the best of her, and she let me down. I'm not gonna let no woman, not even you, let me down again. So you can tell that he was definitely hurt. He was angry, and he's like, he doesn't want to see her again. So Gabby told him that she will be on the board because of this, and she will try to be fair and respect his feelings. And at this point, he don't really give a damn what she want to do. So also she was saying that She was saying that she was just trying to be sincere and she really meant what she said and she's really sorry. And he said that, there's a saying about, once a person shows you who they are, believe them. That's who they really are. And you've always done this because of selfishness. It's not because you really are sorry. Like, I knew this from the time that Tony overlooked you to give me the CEO position. You treated me differently because of my, autism, and you looked at me funny. And she's like, it's not because of autism, it's because of your lack of experience. So it's like, yeah, right. It's not that. Like, you really didn't think I was capable. And, to know that you were there and angry and contempt, like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. So he ends up telling her to leave and not come back, and she respected that. But I'm like, go for you, Theo. Kudos to you for standing up. So back at the cabin, Holly's still not feeling well after she collapsed, and she's barely there, and Tate is looking after Aria, and Aaron were out, and they come back in to ask her how she's doing. So he said she's barely there. She's just trying to rest after, a rough night. So she woke up and she apologized for just, not being fun or not, just ruining the trip. And they said, no, like, this is not your fault. And she was saying that it was a side effect of the antidepressants to be nauseous. So Tate is just saying that she needs to go to the hospital. And she said, no, she really doesn't want Sarah to find out that she brought the boys here. But I don't think that's really, that's the least of the worries. Where, no, what's going on with you? So anyways, she said that she's fine, and she stands up and she collapsed again. And this time Tate said, yeah, we're not playing around. We need to call 911. We need to, get Sarah on the phone. And Holly was barely faintly saying, no, Sarah, find out about. I'm like, Holly, at this point, that's really least of the worries right now. And Ari was even said that. So Ari called Sarah, and that's when Sarah calls the ambulance, and she rushes over there to meet them at the hospital. Now, they all tried to get her to the cabin, or, I guess the ambulance went up there to get her to get to the hospital. So they get Holly to the hospital, and she's in the room, and she's stabilized now, and they pumping out everything out of her and giving her something to help with the nausea. And Sarah's tending to her, and of course, Tate is worried about everything. Brady's trying to calm him down. And while it's happening, Ari is suggesting to get some iced coffee for the group, and she changed her mind, and Aaron had to go for it. And she sees Liam in the corner, so she, of course, like her desperate self, tries to say, oh, I'm gonna text my mom to tell her what's going on. And I'm like, boy, Ari, they just make Ari very desperate, because there she is running after Liam, and Liam didn't even wait. Liam was walking to the square after he was on the phone, I guess, checking in on his son. And Ari stops him. Ari's like, Liam, what are you doing here? What were you doing at the hospital? So she's giving him the 21 cusses. And I'm saying, like, you're not his girlfriend. Why are you questioning the man? What is he doing there? What reason? Why this? And I'm like, you're not even with the man. It's just really irritating. So Liam said that he's checking in on a friend. She's like, what friend? So he's like, friend, making up an excuse. And she said, it's best you not lie to me. Like, why were you really there? So he said that he was with Sarah. Sarah was questioning him about something that happened. So she said, what happened? So he didn't really go into much detail, but he said everything is good now. And, I really just wanted to come to check on you, see if you're okay. So, of course, she's there smiling like a big idiot. And then she's saying, it wasn't really me. It was really my friend Holly. So he said, is she okay? So she said, yeah, she will be. She has the doctors looking after her now. So she was talking about how rude it was that he just up and left. And he said that he really left because of an opportunity for his son that he couldn't miss out on. And he had no choice. And I'm like, yes, you had a choice. You could have not taken the money. But whatever, Liam. Anyways, Liam said that he wanted to give her the proper goodbye. And I don't know why they didn't just go somewhere private to kiss. They kiss in the middle of the square, and poor Aaron is there getting the iced coffee, and he's upset. I think he has a little crush on Ari too, and I think they would have been cute together. Then Gabby, as I expected, Gabby comes in the square, and Gabby's like, oh, hell no. Didn't I give this man enough money to send him off? Like, what is going on here? So let's see how the fallout happens tomorrow, if it happens tomorrow on the episode. Now, back at the the hospital room with Holly, she is stabilized, and she talks to Sarah a bit, and Sarah's asking her the questions if she mixed alcohol with antidepressant, which she denied. She said she drank water. She just didn't understand what was really going on with her, and she thinks maybe the nausea was a symptom of the antidepressants. So Sarah was saying that yes, it may be so, but at the same time hers was very severe. So they're trying to figure out what's really going on. And of course Holly is just worried about the worst outcome of it. And Sarah said, look, we're gonna wait on the blood work to see what's really going on with you. And she told Sarah that Tate, when Aaron was up there, she apologized. So she said, look, I mean, right now that's not my worries right now, but in the future just let me know if you're gonna have anybody up there. So she comes out to talk to Brady and Tate, and she tells them what's really going on, and Tate asks to go sit in with her, and she said okay. So she also talked to Brady, and she knew about Tate and Aaron being up there, and of course Brady already knew, and Brady apologized for not letting her know in advance, but he didn't want to betray his trust as an adult, and she understands, but she just said going further, just let me know, because after everything with the incident with the girls held at gunpoint last year, she just is glad somebody's up there. Now they think about Liam, and they also saying, Liam's what he knew about his mother of his child's death was on point, but Brady's word, and they're like, okay, what's really going on with him and this amount of money, and how he come into it is like, it's just suspicious. So she said, I don't think it has anything to do with the sister's death, but it's a great point. Now, at some point, Tate is in there. Tate is talking with Holly, and before we know it, Tate is rushing out to the hospital room and telling Sarah that we need doctors right now. Holly is having a seizure. So he talks to Tate, Brady talks to Tate after that, and he's saying he's worried, especially last year after Holly, was, overdosing, and he's wondering if it's the same thing again. So, Brady's thinking it's not so, but, they're going to find out what's really going on, and that's what Sarah also said to Holly, who was at this point unconscious. She's telling her, like, look, whatever it is that's going on with you, we're gonna find out. So obviously we know that this has something to do with the tainted pills on the street, but yeah, let's tune in to what happens after that. So this is it, guys. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.